Come on. What is happening in the National Football League? Is that Otis Wilson? Yes. Otis Wilson, after what happened last week, he ought to be thrown out of the ballgame.
He should be thrown out of the football game for
immediately. There's no reason for that.
Absolutely not. This
run it again. Let's run it again.
This is as blatant as the Charles Martin play of a week ago.
The same thing, right there.
This is a shot to the head. It's nothing more than you can imagine, but trying to take his head off.
Should cost him 2 weeks at least.
Now, the question is the issue of overreacting. The Charles Martin incident, as Jimmy alluded to, was 1 week before. A lot of newspaper articles written about violence in the National Football League. Had you been concerned about that issue, overreacting to a play?
Yes, well, I've been concerned first about violence in the National Football League because I think this year we have seen more than any other season. Started in preseason with the Fridge and Neil Lomax of St. Louis in a preseason game.
You theorize, by the way, one of your concepts is that you feel the violence is on the rise because of the instant replay rule.
Yes.
Why?
Well, before I get to that, but also they had the violence in the Kansas City Raider game.
Right.
And so then you had it the week before in Soldier Field. So yes, you saw it building. I think one of the reasons that we've seen more is because of the instant replay rule is that the officials are becoming a little more tentative on the field because their authority has been usurped by the eye in the sky. And I think that professional athletes, in fact, we all are. We're just grown-up little boys, and that when you have a new babysitter, you will test the babysitter to see how far you can push the rules. And I think that once the officials become a little tentative or can be overruled by the replay official, I think that the players started to push the rules and to push the officials to see how far they could go. And I think that's part and parcel of the same package. I really do.
So you make your comment during the game, and then you make a few comments after the game on television with Mike Ditka.
This was the next afternoon.
WMAQ in Chicago. Here is the actual broadcast of Ditka and Jones going at it. Here it is.
I think that Otis Wilson should be out as long as Louis Lips is out. But now I believe you've got to stop this violence at the top. And Mike Ditka is at the top. I have great respect for him. I do not have respect for what one of his players did. I think that Mike Ditka should be fined $20,000.
All right, Mike, your reaction.
Well, you know, I'm sorry that Charlie feels the way he does, but, you know, I don't know what fining me would do. I don't control that on the field. I don't teach it. I don't condone it. I don't coach that way. I made the statement very clear after the football game before seeing it. It is no way in the world that it can be construed to be anywhere similar to what Martin did. But I tell you what's going to happen now. When you become the judge, jury, and the executioner on the air, you're going to have some problem because that's not the job of the announcer.
We ask you then, what is the job of the announcer?
Well, I think that is the job of the announcer. I think that our job, and a way to differentiate it is with the newspaper reporters. I think that our job is entertainer/journalist. Entertainer first, because I work for NBC, and the network buys the rights, pays a lot of money for the rights to the games, and it is a profit center to them by selling the commercials. Therefore, we are first entertainers. I mean, we have to get them in the tent. We have to have the people, the numbers, and all that. That's part of the package. Second, then the slash. Then, as we cover it, we should be journalists. Now, the writers are first journalists because they don't buy the rights. Newspapers, they're there as journalists. But slash entertainers, they have to write it well or nobody's going to read them.
But this is not a passive business, unfortunately. Television is hot as opposed to the cool print medium. A few weeks ago, another incident on the field, and you remember it well. Tom Landry going off the field to wear apparently a bulletproof vest. You remember the moment. Here's the moment with him walking on the field. Frank Gifford goes on the air talking about how this is a sick society. Whoever is in the stands is sick, and this is a sick development, what's going on. Certainly Frank is within his rights to say it, and some might view that that is his job. But you can exacerbate the situation to a point where you inflame an issue. I mean, there are a lot of crazy people out there. You make mention of something like this could be a very dangerous precedent.
No, that's true, and it's never come up in a game that I've done. But what has happened, just like, you know, with the incident that happened, you think about these things as a broadcaster. If this happens in a game, if there's too much violence in the game, how am I going to react? How am I going to talk about it? How am I going to handle it? And I've been giving a lot of thought to exactly what if that was to happen in a game that I do. And I don't have an answer, because journalistically, I mean, we should talk about it. But then again, you don't want to plant a lot of ideas in the heads of a lot of other people. Hey, this is a neat idea. Let's go get the rifle and we'll go after somebody. That's not the